Some games aren't just good, they're unforgettable. The kind that stay with you long after the credits roll and remind us why we fell in love with gaming in the first place. These are the 20 perfect games you must play before you die.
A celebration of war! Aragon Festival!
Some games make a strong first impression. Chronos the New Dawn makes one you don't forget. Set in a ruined world between dimensions, it blends sci-fi, horror, and mystery into something that feels completely its own. You play as a survivor exploring a decaying facility haunted by strange echoes of humanity's past. The gameplay hits that sweet spot between survival and action. You'll rely on stealth, conserve ammo, and plan every encounter like it could be your last. There are no easy victories here. Every fight feels earned. The atmosphere does most of the storytelling. It's quiet horror done right. But what really makes it special is how grounded it feels. There are no jump scares every minute, just tension that keeps building and questions you can't stop chasing. Chronos isn't just another horror game. It's a slow descent into something that stays with you long after you've put the controller down.
Stay calm.
Some games test your skill, but Dark Souls 3 tests your patience. It's the kind of experience that punishes hesitation, but rewards mastery. And when it clicks, when you finally understand its rhythm, it's one of the most satisfying games ever made. You enter a world that's dying, filled with broken knights, silent cathedrals, and ash-covered ruins. The combat is fast and brutal, built entirely on timing and control. You're never overpowered. You're simply smarter, sharper, more stubborn than the last time you died. When you finally defeat a boss that seemed impossible hours ago, you don't just feel relief, you feel triumph. Dark Souls 3 doesn't hand out victories, it makes you fight for them. And that's what makes it perfect. A brutal, beautiful reminder of why games can still feel like an achievement.
And with fire came disparity. Heat and cold. Life and death, and of course, light and dark.
Could this be what draws me to this strangely enticing darkness?
You remain among the accursed.
For 13 years, he tortured me. He's gonna pay for what he made me become. My name is Kyle Crane. And finally, I'm out. They don't even know what they've unleashed. But I'm not the only one out here. Thought they could control me. Now, I will tear them apart. One by one.
Dying Light the Beast takes the chaos of the series and pushes it to the edge. You play as Kyle Crane, years after the events of the first game. He's not the same man anymore. Experiments changed him into something between human and infected. The world is darker now. Castor Woods looks calm from a distance, but once the sun sets, everything hunts you. The parkour is still here, smoother and faster than ever. You leap over rooftops, slide through windows, and chain moves together until it feels effortless. Then the game turns on you. When you enter beast mode, everything changes. Your vision blurs, your speed spikes, and every hit throws enemies across the map. It's power with a price. Stay in it too long and you lose control. That push and pull between monster and man is what makes it addicting. Black Myth Wukong feels like the moment you realize gaming has moved to another level. You play as the Monkey King, a legendary warrior facing gods, demons, and beasts across a world inspired by Chinese mythology. The combat is fast and heavy. Every strike hits with weight, and every dodge feels earned. You can transform into creatures you've defeated, turning their powers against new enemies. It's more than a gimmick. It makes every fight unpredictable and exciting. What makes this game special is how seamless it feels. There's no wasted motion. The camera flows, the animations look real, and every boss fight feels like a cinematic event you control. This isn't just another action game. It's a full showcase of what gaming can be. Stunning, focused, and unforgettable. Black Myth Wukong is one of those rare games that doesn't ask for your attention. It takes it.
Stay the fuck down!
I gotta say, I'm surprised you made it this far. It'd be a shame if something happened to you now.
You killed Mia. Now do me and finish the job.
The bell tolls for us all. They're coming again!
Mia.
Some games pull you in with mystery, others with atmosphere. Resident Evil Village hits you with both at once. You step into the boots of Ethan Winters, chasing answers through a snow-covered European village that everything feels wrong. What really makes it special is balance. You get the tension and mystery of classic Resident Evil, but it's built with modern polish, smooth gunplay, beautiful lighting, and sound design that makes every step feel dangerous. The cast of villains, from Lady Dimitrescu to Heisenberg, are unforgettable, each one pushing the story in a different, terrifying direction. By the time you realize how deep it goes, you're already hooked. Resident Evil Village isn't just another horror game. It's a masterclass in atmosphere and pacing, the kind of experience that reminds you why survival horror will never die. Some games let you play the hero. Batman Arkham City makes you live like one. The moment you step into the prison district, you feel the weight of Gotham and criminals running wild under the snow. It's not just another superhero story. It's a full experience that captures what it really means to be Batman. You glide across rooftops and strike from the shadows. The combat feels smooth and brutal at the same time. Every punch connects, every counter flows perfectly, and when the rhythm starts clicking, it's impossible to stop. Each villain has a purpose, and every side story adds more to the city's chaos. Joker steals every scene he's in, but even without him, the tension never drops. Batman Arkham City isn't just a great superhero game, it's a perfect one. The kind that defines how powerful and human a single character can feel.
Death, I will love you forever. Your father, Thomas.
Everything can change in an instant, whether or not you're ready.
This wasn't the world I wanted, but it was the one I found myself in. This time I'm ready. Because I know war.
War never changes.
have a question. The only question that matters. Would you risk your life for your fellow man, even if that man is a synth?
Fallout 4 throws you straight into the wasteland of the Commonwealth, a world rebuilt from ashes after nuclear war. Developed by Bethesda Game Studios, the game opens with you waking up as the sole survivor from Vault, searching for your missing son while trying to survive what's left of humanity. What made Fallout 4 stand out was how much freedom it gave you. You can join factions, shape settlements, or completely ignore the main quest and live your own story. The new crafting system lets you rebuild weapons, armor, and even entire communities. Gunplay feels tighter than in previous Fallout games, and choices carry real consequences. The people you side with change how the wasteland reacts to you. Fallout 4 remains one of the most replayable open-world RPGs ever made. For the price, few games give you this much content and freedom in one package.
Perhaps we're not so different after all. Pod 153, I order you to halt all logical thought and speech.
They're not A2! I can handle this! Androids were designed to protect their human masters. Even if it's pointless, you still have to do it! You two are the last remaining members of your home.
At first, it feels like another war story. Machines versus androids, good versus evil. But a few hours into Nier Automata, you realize it's something completely different. Humanity is gone, the war is meaningless, and yet the characters keep fighting. What begins as a mission for survival turns into a search for purpose, asking what it really means to live, to feel, and to keep going when everything's already lost. Developed by Platinum Games and Square Enix, the game mixes fast-paced combat, exploration, and bullet hell chaos into one seamless flow. The world is broken yet beautiful, filled with forgotten cities, quiet ruins, and mechanical life that feels disturbingly human. But what makes Nier Automata unforgettable is how it plays with perspective, not just in gameplay, but in how it tells its story. You'll think you've reached the end, then realize you've only seen one piece of it. Hollow Knight begins with quiet steps into darkness. Beneath the forgotten town of Dirtmouth lies Hallownest, a vast underground kingdom filled with life, death, and echoes of a fallen age. You play a small, silent wanderer with a nail as your weapon, exploring a world that tells its story without words. Every corridor, enemy, and melody feels like it's hiding a secret. Developed by Team Cherry, this 2D action adventure balances precision and patience. Every jump, strike, and dodge matters. You'll uncover new powers, explore hidden tunnels, and face bosses that test both reflex and focus. The art is hand-drawn, the music haunting, and the pacing so clean it feels timeless. What makes Hollow Knight unforgettable is its atmosphere. It's the kind of game that lingers long after you stop playing. A masterpiece built on silence, challenge, and wonder.
Welcome home, good hunter. What is it you desire?
Yharnam is the home of blood ministration. You need only unravel its mystery. But where's an outsider like yourself to begin? Easy, with a bit of Yharnam blood of your own. Whatever happens, you may think it all a mere bad dream.
When a game redefines what action RPGs can be, it earns a permanent place on any must-play list. Bloodborne throws you into the gothic nightmare city of Yharnam, where a mysterious bloodborne disease turns the streets into hell, and the hunter becomes the hunted. Developed by From Software, the game strips away shields and slow defenses in favor of aggressive risk-versus-reward combat. Your trick weapons transform in mid-swing, your pistol stuns, and every encounter forces you to react, not just survive. The world design is tight, layered, and filled with secrets. Death isn't a setback, it's part of the lesson. What makes Bloodborne unforgettable is how it fuses horror and mastery. You don't just beat bosses, you understand them. 8 years later, it still stands as a benchmark. Miss it, and you're skipping one of the best action RPGs ever made.
Picking up something on the long-range scanner. Unidentified vessel.
It's not the Geth. Brace for evasive maneuvers!
Some games pull you in right from the start. Mass Effect 2 grabs you and never lets go. Commander Shepard is brought back from the dead, and the mission that follows is nothing short of legendary. The galaxy is falling apart, and the only way to save it is to build a crew strong enough to face the impossible. Mass Effect 2 perfects the balance between storytelling and gameplay. You'll travel across star systems, recruiting mercenaries, assassins, and outlaws, each with their own loyalty mission and personal history. Every choice matters. How you lead, who you trust, and what you sacrifice can decide who makes it out alive in the final suicide mission. Mass Effect 2 isn't just an RPG. It's an emotional space epic that defines what it means to command, to lose, and to fight for something bigger than yourself. Silent Hill F takes the legendary horror series in a completely new direction. Instead of the usual American town, this story moves to 1960s Japan, a quiet rural place hiding something terrible beneath the surface. You play as Hinako Shimizu, a high school girl drawn into a nightmare where beauty and decay mix in disturbing ways. This entry focuses on psychological horror, with a heavy influence from Japanese folklore. The game features a new over-the-shoulder perspective and slower, more deliberate pacing. The world feels alive but sick. Flowers bloom from corpses. The line between reality and hallucination keeps breaking apart. The tone still feels like Silent Hill, guilt, fear, and emotional horror. But the setting and story bring a fresh cultural twist. It's not just about monsters, it's about what grows out of pain and memory. And that makes this one of the most haunting Silent Hill games ever made.
For today only, this will be our little secret. But if it happens to remain alive even after today, as your sister, I'll kill you if I must, for his sake as well.
When a game is called a must-play before you die, this remake checks every box. Remade by Bluepoint Games and released at the launch of the PS5, Demon's Souls completely rebuilds the 2009 classic for a new generation. The world of Boletaria is dark and unforgiving. Monsters lurk behind every corner, and the feeling of risk never fades. You explore labyrinthine zones, manage your soul's and body tendency, and face boss fights that test both skill and patience. The combat demands precision, little room for mistakes. What makes Demon Souls unforgettable is how it pairs brutal challenge with technical brilliance. The remake features gorgeous visuals, almost seamless load times, dual mode performance, and quality of life tweaks that keep the spirit of the original. Every victory feels earned. Every loss pushes you to try again.
Don't play out. You do what I say, when I say it.
Joel, I can handle myself.
It's called luck, and it is gonna run out.
Run! There's too many of them!
You ready to haul ass? Come on!
Realize what your life means?
Stop with the bullshit. What are you so afraid of?
When you think of games you'll never forget, this one rises straight to the top. The Last of Us takes place in a world torn apart by a fungus infection that turns humanity inside out. Joel, a man broken by loss, is hired to escort Ellie, a girl who may be humanity's last hope. Once they begin their journey across the ravaged US, everything you know about survival gets twisted. The gameplay blends survival action, deep emotional beats, and stealth mechanics in a way few games do. Resources are scarce, enemies are brutal. Every decision, whether to sneak, fight, or run, counts. What makes the story hit so hard is how it builds slow, how it forces you to care, and how it doesn't offer easy answers. What makes The Last of Us unforgettable is how it captures humanity. The love, the sacrifice, the fear, it all feels real. You'll finish the story and sit there, motionless, because the game doesn't finish when the credits roll. Lies of P reimagines the story of Pinocchio in a dark, brutal setting, the Belle Epoque city of Krat, now twisted by disease and rebellion. This action RPG drops you as P, a puppet created by Geppetto, who defies his programming, lies, and fights through hordes of mechanical monstrosities. Combat is vicious yet precise. You'll pick one of 3 fighting styles, upgrade weapons by combining parts, use a mechanical arm for hooks, bombs, and other tools. Bosses punish you for greed, not mistakes. The game layers systems that reward exploration and mastery. The visuals and art style pull you into a decaying world where puppets revolt, lies carry weight, and your choices shift outcomes. The story asks, what makes us human when we're built like machines? It's not just about defeating evil. It's about proving you're more than a puppet.
You got a lot to answer for!
Won't you help me, son?
Your lies are a rare ability.
Geppetto's puppet, our only hope.
In the closing years of the Sengoku era, Japan was consumed by perpetual conflict. What's the matter, Stray? Nothing left to lose? Well, would you look at that? Will you join me, starving wolf?
When a game challenges you in every way, it becomes one of those titles you'll never forget. Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice drops you into late Sengoku Japan as a shinobi known as Wolf, tasked with protecting a young lord of divine blood while his world collapses in war and ambition. Developed by From Software, the game reinvents the action-adventure genre with lightning-fast combat, stealth mechanics, and a tension that never lets up. There's no safe method, no grind to overlevel. Your prosthetic arm gives you grappling hooks, explosive tools, and new ways to move. This is the kind of game you don't just play, you survive. Each victory feels earned, each defeat teaches you something. And when you finally walk away, your hands are steady, your mind sharper, and you've carried a piece of Wolf's journey. Sekiro is exacting, intense, and unforgettable.
The shattering ensued, a war that wrought only darkness. The Elden Ring was broken. But by whom? And why? What could the demigods ever hope to win by warring?
When you want a game that redefines what's possible, and one you'll play for years, this is it. Elden Ring, by From Software, with world-building input from George R.R. Martin, drops you into the vast lands between, a world built for exploration, trial, and triumph. You're a tarnished, guided by grace, free to roam sprawling fields, climb broken towers, ride spectral horses, challenge demigods, and discover secrets buried beneath ruins. Combat mixes the brutal timing of the Souls series with the freedom and scale of open-world RPGs. Bosses don't just test your skills, they test your patience, adaptability, and will to learn. What makes it unforgettable is how every inch of the world feels handcrafted. Elden Ring isn't just a game you beat, it's a world you survive, a journey you master. When people talk about the greatest games ever made, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt always comes up. This open-world RPG puts you in the boots of Geralt of Rivia, a monster hunter searching for his adopted daughter Ciri, who's being chased by the Wild Hunt. Combat combines swordplay, magic, and alchemy, giving you freedom to fight your way. Exploration never feels like filler. Every corner of the map hides something new. The expansions Hearts of Stone and Blood and Wine add even more hours of story and world building, both widely considered among the best DLCs ever released. What makes The Witcher 3 unforgettable is how it connects you to its world. The writing, music, and performances all come together to make you feel part of Geralt's journey. It's more than just a fantasy game, it's a story about choice, consequence, and the cost of chasing what you love.
Bats all a-swaying in the breeze, but one soul lies anxious, wide awake, fearing all manner of ghouls, hags, and wraiths.
Nice tune. Been a while since I heard it last.
Folk have forgotten it.
Got other things on their mind.
Things like me.
They paid me for you.
In times past, no amount of coin would convince a witcher to take this contract.
Times have changed.
When a game lets you choose your path and live the consequences, you know you're playing something special. Baldur's Gate 3, made by Larian Studios, drops you into the world of the Forgotten Realms, with a Mind Flayer tadpole in your head and a universe packed with possibilities. You create your character, race, class, appearance, then build a team of companions who react to every choice you make. The combat flips between real-time exploration and turn-based battles, where dice rolls, position, and creative use of the environment matter just as much as your level. What makes Baldur's Gate 3 unforgettable is how much it trusts you. Your decisions shape friendships, betrayals, kingdoms, and even the fate of the gods. It's not just an RPG, it's your story in a living, breathing fantasy world.
The defeat was merely a delay. Till the time after Oblivion opened. When the sons of Skyrim would spill their own blood. But no one wanted to believe they even existed. And when the truth finally dawns, it dawns in fire. But there's one they fear. In their tongue, he's Dovahkiin, Dragonborn.
The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim opens with one of the most iconic moments in gaming. Your execution interrupted by a dragon attack. From that moment on, the world is yours to explore. Set in the frozen north of Tamriel, Skyrim is a land filled with warring factions, ancient ruins, and the return of dragons long thought extinct. You play as the Dragonborn, a warrior born with the soul of a dragon, destined to use its power against the creatures threatening the world. Developed by Bethesda Game Studios, Skyrim gives you total freedom. You can master swordplay, archery, stealth, or magic, or mix them all. The world doesn't wait for you, it reacts to you. Towns change, people remember your actions, and every path leads to new stories. Even after more than a decade, Skyrim still stands as one of the greatest open-world games ever made.
You didn't think that you were the only one. He was the first.